Virgo, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for early November 2022. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business, as always, and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we can dip our toes into energy and see what's going on for my lovely Virgo friends. I hope you're all fabulous. So what's up, my guys? Talk to me. What do we got? Yeah, we're just going to look at this first card real quick, then we'll get into the full tarot reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you could lean in on, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. What's up with Virgo, please? Nice and quick. Yeah, there we go. Just a few shuffles, and we have our little mermaid friend, and she's been making a lot of appearances lately, which is good, because there was a stretch of time where this card wasn't coming out for nobody. Now I'm starting to see her, so we'll talk about it. It's a little complex, but before we do, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the November subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it on its third eye, I'd greatly appreciate it. Into the reading, enough of the promo. If you look at this card, it's just like the Little Mermaid movie, right? We see Ariel there. I'm sure we've all seen the movie like a billion times, right? And when I see this card, notice that she literally has her head in the clouds. Yes, there is this gorgeous surroundings of the sea. This person has so much beauty around them, but their head is in the clouds for a reason. There is someplace that they would rather be. They're thinking of the destination. They're thinking of the future when I see this card. So a lot of you might be in that mode with a future focus, thinking of how you want something to turn out or an end result with a card like this. I always say just be wary about getting stuck in the mind place too much or overthinking when a card like this shows up. Because although this person has things around them to be grateful for, they want more. Okay, but you don't want to get stuck in the mind too long. It's all about balance. You know the deal. So let's put her down. We're going to get into tarot. I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a footnote for us. But let's shuffle it up one time here before we get you the 3 in the upright. Before we get the intuitive, juicy stuff. Let's go. So, last week's reading, Virgo. And I always say I try to keep the titles as simple as humanly possible. It was titled Shut This Down or Shut It Down, one or the other. So there might have been something you were tempted to close out. Some sort of cycles could be ending in your life, or there was something you might need to put a stop to, an end to, whether it's a behavior, whether it's an individual's actions. I'm not judging, and there's a lot of Virgos going through a lot of different things, but that was the main vibe, like someone getting ready to just like shut something down or multiple things down. Let's get into this week, though. I always say only take this how it hits for you, okay? Because there's a lot of Virgos going through a lot of different things. Energy is very fluid, never set in stone. Let's get it going. We're going to hope for some optimism, because we could be seeing the energy of those around you, okay? All right, Page of Cups in position number 1. Interesting. I like when we start with communication cards. We've been seeing that across most of the earth signs this week. Page of Cups is a pretty good energy. It's not the most refined energy, so we're going to want to see what's up. We got Temperance. So Temperance, even though that represents a different zodiac sign, that also has cups. So I'm seeing a lot of cups here showing up initially. Interesting vibe. Thank you. All right, Queen of Pentacles. So we have a good amount of court cards showing up here, which could represent a lot of people. That could easily represent you, Virgo. But we're going to go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, and we'll get the juicy intuitive messages, okay? So like I said, we have the Page, we have the Queen, we have Temperance. There's a lot of people figures here. But in position number 1, the Page of Cups. All pages are messengers. All pages are students, right? I always say the Page of Pentacles is the biggest messenger, but they all have those undertones of communication. This one is kind of about emotional offers, how one is feeling. Like this is kind of a card of someone who's a little bashful at times as well. So energy of shyness. Somebody might be withholding a little bit with the Page of Cups. It's not bad by any means. It could also represent children pages. They can represent people we have age differences with. So there's a lot of little fine details, but the Page of Cups, if it's also not a water sign, could just be some sort of communication or new endeavor, new cycle. Moving to the center, we have Temperance. Now, this card is attached to the zodiac sign of Sagittarius, right? This is, and as you see, there are 2 cups like depicted in this as well. When I see this card, the first thing I always think about is spiritual protection, because this is the Archangel Michael depicted on here. So Spirit might be telling you like, hey, You have a team around you, even if you don't see them, even if you don't feel them. This is spiritual assurance, right? Like, you have that spirit team, you are spiritually protected, okay, in one form or another. This is very angelic, love and light type of energy. However, temperance is also about patience, whether spirit is testing you in various different ways, whether something's going a little slower than you'd like it to go. Or, remember I was saying last week, we're having the energy of somebody putting a stop to something. Temperance could represent that as well, practicing literal temperance, like stopping something. On the back end, though, we have a card that could be really the keystone to this whole entire spread. We have the Queen of Pentacles, usually a very positive card, right? When I see this card, I think of Empress type of energy, the overflowing bounty, the blessings from spirit, especially with the angelic energies we got going on here. So this can turn out very good. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself because clarifiers change the deal. Queens generally represent how we're feeling on the inside. Since you are a Virgo, this is a card that can represent you. It doesn't matter if you're male, it doesn't matter if you're female, or anything in between. This is earth sign energy. So in my simplistic style of reading, this could represent either a way you might be feeling in the next few days or something that's coming towards you. So we really want to clarify that because it could be important. But if not, this is the energy of abundance and blessings. Beautiful, very stable and sturdy as well. So with all that being said, Virgo, let's dive deeper. Let's jump in and clarify. All right, let's get a good shuffle here for my Virgo friends, please. And thank you. And I just want to say this as well, like when we get a lot of court cards and people cards, you might be more popular than you usually are. You might have a lot of people hitting you up, wanting to talk to you, grab your ear. But yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot. Because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's see what's up with that Page of Cups. And as always, if you're a tarot reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages off this spread that you want to give to Virgo, you could drop it down in the comments. I don't mind. All right, Page of Cups. What's going on here, please? Thank you. Yeah, something needs to be said. Something needs to be spoken about. We have the Four of Swords in reverse. Usually this is a card of withholding or stopping when it's in the upright. And we are using the vice versa tarot still. And in this deck, if you're not familiar, it has the front side, it has the back side. So the Four of Swords in reverse to me is the energy of something coming out or something taking place, taking action. So there might be some sort of serious or important talk that needs to be had with someone very close to you. And I was picking up the same thing in the Capricorn reading right in the front end. So you're picking that up as well. There is something that needs to be said, okay? If you're feeling rough or maybe someone you're connected to is feeling some type of way and they're withholding it a little bit, this could be some sort of important or serious conversation that needs to be had. Now, we're going to see how the rest of this plays out. But I always say when someone has something on their mind, when something needs to be said, and they repress it, and they push it down, and they're bashful. Remember I was saying this is a bashful energy, they bite their tongue. Eventually that can erupt. That can turn into an explosive talk or conversation when people suppress for too long. So hopefully this isn't some sort of emotional eruption as well, because this could be an emotional explosion of some sort. If it's not a serious or important talk, I'm getting both. I want to see how the rest of this plays out. Because for some of you, if you've needed to have a talk and you haven't, this could represent some sort of emotional explosion here. Let's keep moving. Because we do have temperance as well. So I want to see how the rest of this plays out. Very intriguing this week, Virgo. Lots of moving parts here. So why is temperance in the mix? Thank you. Eight of Swords in reverse. Yeah, there is something that you really shouldn't be worrying about as much as you are. That's what Spirit's saying to me right now. With the Eight of Swords in reverse, that's a very freeing type of card. Notice both of the Swords cards. Swords are mental. They're communicators, but they're also of the mind. They're both in reverse. When I see it under temperance, I'm getting someone that needs to have some peace of mind, some clarity of mind, some clarity of thought. Don't hold yourself prisoner to your own thoughts. Don't hold yourself prisoner to your own ways of thinking and stuff like that. But that's the main thing I was picking up here. You might be going through certain things in the coming days and weeks where you might be stressing it. You might be making a big deal out of it. To you, it might seem or feel like a big deal, but in the grand scheme of things, everything's going to be okay. Okay? Like, it may seem huge. It may seem like the sky's falling, but in reality, everything's going to be okay. Know that you're loved. Know that you're protected. Everything will run according to its course, all in due course. That's kind of the vibe I'm picking up here. Maybe that's advice you need to give to someone as well. Like, hey, calm it down. It's all good, right? Give them a little reassuring hug. But we're going to keep moving over here. And it's also a card to me, like I was saying, that everything's going to be okay. Everything's going to be fine, even if things are tense. Let's see what's up with that Queen of Pentacles, because I do feel like she's important. Then we'll do a quick recap before we get into the shadow card. I'm liking the energy of this reading overall, even though we have like some possible ups and downs. It's okay. How's this Queen of Pentacles here? Thank you. Yeah. All right, we have the Eight of Cups in the upright underneath this Queen of Pentacles. Some of you might be having big issues with other earth signs in this time, or even mother figures, so beware of that, family, mother figures. But when I see the Eight of Cups underneath this, there might be something you're wanting to give up on, or there's something you might be wanting to walk away from. Now, just so you know, if you're new here, I don't only do these readings for love alone. This could represent various different portions of your life. So could it be a work thing, a job thing? It could be anything really, just tailor fit it to whatever your situation is. But in the coming days and weeks, there is something that you might be very tempted to just like throw your hands up and say, all right, peace, bye, see you later. Like that's the vibe I'm picking up here. And I don't always get that from the Eight of Cups. You know me, I try to take a middle ground approach to all cards. But a lot of you, there is something, and we were seeing it last week too, shut this down. There could be something that you're wanting to either walk away from or separate from, okay? Whether behavior, way of thinking, or otherwise. So even if that's something you're not feeling right now, that could be coming up, all right? So that could be something that pops up. Let's go through and do a quick recap here because we're picking up a lot of different things. Then we'll get into the shadow card. But if you kindly look in the box, Virgo, position number 1, we have the Page of Cups with the Four of Swords. It was in reverse. It was giving me two major feelings here that there might be a serious or an important talk that needs to be had. All right, somebody needs to get something off their chest. They might be repressing, they might be delaying it, but I was also picking up the vibe that if that's something you've already done or somebody's already done, this could be an emotional eruption or explosion here. So beware of that. Moving to the center, we have Temperance with the Eight of Swords in reverse. Very freeing type of energy, but the main vibe I was picking up here is there is something that may come up or that you might be going through right now where you could be stressing it or thinking about it, but it's not as bad as you think it is. This is a protective energy that everything will be okay. So try not to get too bogged down in the mind, okay? But moving to the back end, regardless of all the other stuff we have going on here, we have the Queen of Pentacles, a card that could represent you, with the Eight of Cups in the upright. Like I was saying, you could be having big headbutts with another earth sign here, family member, mother figure for sure. But there could be something, whether a situation, whether a person, whether a job, that you could be tempted to walk away from or separate from in this time. Like those temptations could happen. So Virgo, please do with that what you will. We're going to get you one shadow card here. Interesting. And I don't feel like necessarily this is all the same situation. This could be separate things here. But let's go here. See what's up. And yeah, we're using the Shadowland Tarot, which is an awesome deck for doing shadow work. It's one of my favorites. I always like to read the inverse. That's very introspective. So what's in the shadows for Virgo? Keep this nice and quick. Okay, we have the Magician showing up in the shadows for you, which is always an intriguing type of shadow card because the Magician is usually a very good card of creation, a card of control in a positive way. But remember, we're looking at the shadow side of this card. So Spirit could be saying, watch your thought process in this time. Do not reverse manifest and bring things to you that you don't want. You know, that is the epitome of reverse manifesting, where we think of worst case scenario, bad things, this and that, and we bring the outcome we don't want to us. This could be a warning about it here with the Magician. However, this can also represent somebody in your life that's over controlling, or maybe there's certain situations you're going through where you want complete and total control of the outcome. And I totally get it. Everybody's like that to an extent. But this card can be overbearing, so it's something to beware of. Just know that there are things in life that are out of your hands. Once set into motion, some things just have to run their course. So Virgo, that's what I have for you this week, my friends. Don't click away just yet. I'm going to give you the details of the November subscriber surprise. If you got your name in for the October subscriber surprise, the winners will be announced the day after Halloween, November 1st. But for November, I'm giving away 2 copies of the beautiful Vice Versa Tarot once again. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things. As always, first, you must be subscribed, which I'm sure you already are. And second, let me know down in the comments, what are you most grateful for? 'Tis the season, am I right, my friends? That's all you need to do to enter. And at the end of November, I'll announce the winners in my community tab. My friends, as always, much love, and I'll see you next time.